Hi. It's been a very long year, but it's finally time to close the chapter on the manga log of 2021. That being said, this is just going to be the manga log of December 2021. The next video I'm going to be doing, though, will be the manga log review of 2021. This is also the first time I've ever done something like this, and I wanted to give you guys my opinions on it and how well I feel like it worked. That being said, this is just for December, which I read a bit, not as much as others, and really didn't really finish anything, and I'll get into that. So, first, read 41 volumes. Granted, there's some reasons. 0 comics, and I finished 0 series. But I will say the last week in December, I didn't read much because I was not in this lovely fucking apartment. I was spending time with my family in good old Florida. Fucking hate Florida. Sorry for anyone that lives there, but I lived there for 2.5 years for school, and I hated it. But that's just me. So, read a little bit less, but it's fine. I read a good amount, so I guess it's time to finish up 2021. So let's get into stuff that I started reading. So, I only read 3 new series in the month of December, which I found enjoyable for the most part and made me laugh at other points. And well, let's just get into it. One that I randomly picked up, didn't know it was going to be good. Luckily, before I got around to reading it, the Manga Soft read it, he enjoyed it, and based off of how our likes and dislikes are and our conversations that we've had with each other, we have relatively similar tastes when it comes to manga. But let's just get on to what it is, and that is chilling in another world with level 2 super cheat powers. It's a mouthful. And it's an isekai. Not very surprising. But I will say it is slightly different. So, the main character... Here, there we go. The main character is named Bonsai. That's really his name. Is not from Japan, which is different. I was shocked by this reading it. I was like, what? I just grabbed it because I was like, yeah, I'll probably like it. It's an isekai. And then found out, dude, not from like Earth. He is from a different fantasy type world. He gets summoned into this world to be the person to help the hero to slay the demon king, right? It is the demon king? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, well, it's probably the Demon King. It's been a hot minute since I read this. So, he gets, screens, shows his status. Kind of average on all in all. He's like an average merchant. So they're like, fuck, he's not the one. But right as he gets tested and all that, other person that they summoned, because they've been summoning a lot of fucking people all day, has 99 and all 999 in all stats, and is just like perfect for the job. They throw a party and all that, and he's stuck there because he didn't get to go back to the portal because they were too busy celebrating the fact that this other dude is the hero that they're looking for. Spoiler alert for the first volume, he's not. In fact, after the main dude levels up for the first time, he becomes fucking broken. Like, the stats. I think the best way to do this is to show the stats that he was at, which are right here. Boop. At level 1, all pretty good. And then the hero dude is all at 99. And he becomes stupidly broken after that because, level 2. I don't know if you know this symbol, but the symbol for infinity He is just fucking... like, he becomes broken, and he technically was the hero that they should have gotten, but they didn't. So, after that, he eventually meets up with his wife, which I was surprised that he was like, yeah, marry me, who is her. I'll save some stuff that happens, whose name is Fenris, I think. Probably wrong. I always get this stuff wrong. And he's just dedicated to the thought of just chilling in this world because they kind of wanted him dead because they didn't want people to find out that they really fucked up. So, all in all, really good. I have Volume 2. I will read Volume 2 hopefully sometime this month. Don't know. And it was solid. Really good. I like the fact that the main character was not from Earth and was someone like from someplace else. So really good. I hope to have it continue being good, and yeah, solid. From there, one that I feel like a lot of people have heard about, just because of the it's Burn the Witch. I was trying to think of something else, but no, it's Burn the Witch. Which, and I'm laughing about a random joke in my head. It is essentially a spin-off / sequel type deal of Bleach, which I would really need to finish reading Bleach at some point, all 70-something volumes of it, but Burn the Witch is essentially, instead of where Bleach took place in Japan and showed how the sort of underworld / the dead do things with Bleach in Japan, Burn the Witch is set in London and has these two girls that are going out and hunting dragons, and it's fucking awesome. And I don't know how long this series goes on for. All I know is that it is one volume so far that is thicker than most other ones, and I like the art of Tide Kubo. I had to remember the name, and it came in this slip, though mine is falling apart a little bit, and just I feel like it exudes a little bit of that style that Bleach is known for, and I really enjoyed it. And if you like the art in Bleach, then you'll like the art in Burn the Witch. So yeah, it's great, it's fun, and it's definitely different and a different take on the same world that Bleach is in, but you know, the different soul societies that are within the world that have different aspects based off of where you are in the world. Very solid, would recommend. It's one volume so far, and probably gonna be more, so yeah. From there, I have one that I randomly picked up because I said, fuck it, why not? And that is, gonna mispronounce this name, is Kiryu Kill Me. I think is how you pronounce her name. And it's a weird love story. I didn't think that it was when I picked it up, but I said, fuck it, you know? So, essentially, the main character, him, this dude right there, is head over heels in love with her. Only met once, but turns out he is a super rich billionaire. Like, imagine Bruce Wayne, Owl Nemo, that is his name, this dude. Picture like Bruce Wayne, except instead of fighting crime, he's just trying to get with this girl. And he finds out that she is an underworld assassin, and him being the like high tech falutin person that he is, and the owner of a pharmaceutical company, and literally has access to all the best tech to make sure that he stays alive, instead of, you know, just asking her out, trying to figure out, hey, want to go out? No, Now, what he does is he puts out a hit on himself and asks for only her to try and kill him, and then proceeds to think that every time she is going to try and kill him is a date. And I'm like, dude, I have never dated, and I know that's fucked up. Just, that is absolutely not the way to ask out someone or try to make them fall in love with you. It's actually the opposite. They're gonna kill you. Granted, he keeps on surviving, and she, by the end of it, is like, what's going on? I have literally killed this man 50 times, and yet he's still alive. It is bonkers, and I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen. I will say I did show it a little bit. The art in it is very interesting, to say the least, and is somewhat in a, it's a little bit more adult, but yeah. Oh yeah, this is the one time where she tries sniping him, and that didn't work. But yeah, it is so stupid in its concept that I read it, and I would like to read more of it, because I'm just like, someone going to tell this man that this is absolutely no way to try and get with anyone? Anyone? No? Okay. So, that was the series that I had started this month of December. Pretty interesting, a weird eclectic group of it, so yeah. On to the next stuff that I continued reading. Alright, on to stuff that I have continued to read this month. There's not going to be a lot that I'm going to be talking about, because it's mostly been the stuff that I've continued to read, and the whole entire month of December was just me continuing to read shit. I haven't finished a lot, but I'm getting there. Anyways, one that I feel like I've talked about. If I'm not, this will be the first time. If I have, then you already know. But I have read Volume 5 of Moriarty the Patriot, which is great. I feel like I have talked about it, but it's too late. I'm talking about it again. So, this is essentially the Sherlock Holmes story, but set from the point of view of Moriarty, Sherlock's greatest enemy. And it is interesting for the fact that I randomly decided to pick it up because I like Sherlock Holmes. I would love to read more of Sherlock Holmes. I really enjoyed the Robert Downey Jr. movies when those came out. Sherlock Holmes, really awesome. That's, I think, where I started my love of Sherlock. But yeah, and it's getting into the mind games between Sherlock and Moriarty and who is the better of the two, And I didn't really think all that much. Like, I knew I probably was going to like this series, but I didn't think I was going to like it as much. It sort of gives me a little bit along the lines of, murder mysteries are great, but also the whole Death Note type deal, where it's a little bit along the lines of, that Sherlock is eventually going to find out that James Moriarty is the criminal mastermind that is orchestrating all of these fucking killings of nobles, and you are just waiting for him to figure it out while Moriarty is trying to cleanse your England of all these corrupt nobles, but is doing it in the way of murder. So it's very interesting, and I really, really enjoy it for the most part. I also quite enjoy the art style. It's nothing too crazy, and I really, really like it. It is very, very well done. So, yeah. Also, they were able to get the go-ahead from the Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, his estate. They are notorious for not allowing people to even have any sprinkling of Sherlock. So the fact that they were able to get his characters into this thing is great, and I enjoy that. So good on them. So from there, I have one that I think most people don't really like, but I do. It's another isekai, but in the vein of the fact that the main character got reincarnated as a sword. This one is one that I quite enjoy, but I also know that other people did not. For instance, I know that the Manga Sloth did not, but I enjoy it for the fact that the main character is technically the sword, but at the same time is the girl Fran. I know I have talked about this series before. I think in my video on isekais that it is interesting for the fact that it is also playing out one of my favorite subclasses in 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons, which is the Hexblade Warlock, which is essentially a warlock that their patron is a sentient sword, which gives me all of this great vibes. And it's great because it's technically the sword's really overpowered, but he's also trying to make sure that Fran, who's trying to essentially become the next sort of step in the evolutionary type thing for her type of people, which are black cats, to become the next stage, because there in the history of the world there has not been a black cat that has reached that. Other beast folk people, I can't remember the exact term, have, but the black cats haven't, and she just wants that. And Teacher, the sword, is trying to help her along on that journey. It's great. Technically, the sword's overpowered, but it doesn't feel too bad because he wants Fran to get better, and she does get better. And at points, earlier on, it felt like he was just taking her and doing she was following his lead, but as the story has been going on, he has not forced her to do, I'm trying to think of the right words, has not been the guiding force as much in combat, but is allowing her to do other decisions, and she listens to Teacher as he is essentially training her to be this great warrior / mage person, because sure, he has all the magic and is able to impart skills and stuff, but she is also gaining skills and magic and is slowly growing, which I love and enjoy, as well as the art style of it is better than I thought it was going to be, and I really, really enjoy it. Yeah, I like this. It's great. It's simple, but I love it, and it's just fun and awesome, and really enjoy it. So yeah, the characters in it are funny and great. Teacher and Fran's relationship, as well as their new dog Jet, is great between the three of them as they travel now to a new kingdom to grow stronger. And yeah, really enjoy it. If you enjoy the Hexblade Warlock from D&D and want to read a manga that's sort of like that, go ahead, read it. It's great. I highly recommend it. So, from there, one that I thought about putting in the other section of stuff that I had started this month, but I also think that it's a good place to put it here because it's also a continuation. It's goddamn Jojos. Jojo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3 to be exact. So, putting in this section just to change it up a bit, because I technically started it this month, but at the same time it's a continuation of Jojos. So Part 3, also known as Stardust Crusaders, is great. It's also the first introduction of the stand power, which replaces the Hamen, I think that's how you pronounce it, power from parts 1 and 2. It is still technically in this because of Joseph. Damn it, I think it's Joseph. It's Joseph, right? That's the JoJo I'm thinking of. Because it's Joseph, right? God damn. I think it's Joseph. But yeah, it's Joseph, right? Joseph? That's right, Joseph. It has to be Joseph. I think it's Joseph, and I'm an idiot. 1 second. It was Joseph, and your boy's a fucking idiot. So, because he's still in it and uses his Haman powers in fights. But yeah, it's stupid and ridiculous, like Jojos, and great. And Jotaro is the one that doesn't give a shit about you, and his Stan Star Platinum is great. And I don't know what to say, because it's just essentially a star, like a wild road trip on the way to defeat Dio Brando, who didn't die in part 1, but was in the bottom of the ocean. So, yeah. It's Jojos. What the fuck do you want me to say? I do like the interesting powers now that they moved away from Haman. It could have still been used here and there, but I feel like it was a good decision, just because you can have more weirder powers, as well as weirder things going on, as more rules to better differentiate the different powers, as well as weirder characters now. And it's great. Like, there's a fucking monkey in this that has a stand that's a ship. Like, what the fuck? What? It is interesting, to say the least. I enjoyed part 2, part 3. I don't know why I said part 2, part 3. I have almost all the volumes, which I think is up to 10. And I will definitely be getting more. I have up to 7 right now, maybe 8, I couldn't remember. So, yeah, it's Jojos. What the fuck do you want me to say? From there, I have one that I think I've talked about. If not, this is another instance where I'm going to be just speaking my mind, and that is Eden Zero. I read the 14th volume, just literally picked up volume 14 a little bit ago, and it is pretty interesting. It's by the creators of Fairy Tail, if you couldn't tell by the character design, if you've read Fairy Tail or Rave Master. Yeah. It is essentially following Shiki. There we go. Got there. As he is trying to find Mother, who is the main god of the galaxies, and is on the quest to find friends, and he has weird gravity powers as well. And I didn't think I was going to like this much, and as we have continued to read it, I don't know why I said we, it's only me. As I have continued to read this, I have found that I enjoy it more than I thought I was, and like the different kind of powers. Gravity powers are fucking scary, to say the least. Like, if I learned anything from the Stormlight Archives, if you are able to control gravity, you're fucking goddamn monster at points that can fuck people up. And yeah, it's great. I really enjoy it. This one was mostly a fan service-y, because they were at the beach planet. I can't believe I'm not going to show that much. And yeah, it was great. I kind of like the art style, to say the least, as well as all the different characters. Granted, some of them do look the same as from Fairy Tail or even Rave Master. I would love to read Rave Master at some point, but it's hard to come by. So, yeah, that's it. So, from that, it is all that I have read this month. In December, that I've continued to read this month. I enjoyed most things. There's also a lot more that I have not talked about. If I did, this video would be hours long. So with that in mind, if you want to see more of the stuff that I'm reading, as well as up to date on what I'm reading, go ahead and check out my Instagram, where I keep up to date with the manga that I am reading, with pictures and stuff. Though at some point, may do a Goodreads type thing. So keep your eye on that. So for that, let's get on with the end of the video. So with that all being said, I hope you enjoyed this manga log, as well as all the other manga logs that I've done. Again, the next video will be my entire viewpoint of all the manga that I've read, in the year of 2021. I will continue doing this if people want it. Yeah, it was a good month. I know I didn't really finish anything, but I kept on with some stuff, and that's how most months go. Most series don't end all at once, and if they do, it's a shorty. It's like 3 volumes or 2 volumes. Several series have many different volumes, and hopefully it's all good. Hopefully you had a lovely safe holidays and a happy new year. We're gonna continue this train going into 2022, which is already now because I'm a week late, but I was traveling, so give me a break. On that note, just read some more manga. Stay safe.